So yesterday you focused on learning a lot of important vocabulary that we're going to need as we move forward with quadrilaterals. And one of the pieces of vocabulary that you learned yesterday was the idea of opposite sides. These are sides that are across from one another. And so you can see, because we're working with quadrilaterals, polygons with four sides, you're going to end up having two pairs of opposite sides for each quadrilateral. So you can see here's one pair of opposite sides. They're across from each other. And then here's another pair of opposite sides. And opposite sides will never touch one another. They don't share points. And so you can see we have one pair of pink, one pair of opposite sides in green. If you take a look at this quadrilateral at the bottom right, we have one pair of opposite sides here in red, another pair in blue. And again, we have two pairs of opposite sides for each quadrilateral. So we're going to need to know what opposite sides are. You're also going to need to remember what the word parallel means. Parallel means when lines are going in the exact same direction and they never touch or never will. And so just like in the word parallel with the two L's, that is sort of exactly what parallel lines look like. And the parallel lines can be going vertically up and down, horizontally directly across, or some form of diagonal. But parallel means the exact same direction. So right now we're going to focus on combining those two ideas, and we're going to be counting the number of pairs of opposite sides in a quadrilateral that are parallel. So if you take a look at these quadrilaterals, we have two pairs of opposite sides for each one, and we're going to figure out how many of those pairs of opposite sides are parallel. Well, the most you can have is two, because they have two pairs of opposite parallel sides. You could have only one pair of opposite sides that are parallel, or you might have none. So let's take a look at some quadrilaterals here. We're going to figure out, are there two pairs of opposite sides that are parallel, one or none? So let's take a look at the opposite sides one by one. You can see that both of these opposite sides are going the exact same direction. These are parallel, so that's one. But if you take a look at the blue opposite sides, you can see they're both diagonal, but they're not going in the exact same direction. One's tilting one way, one's tilting the other. And so for this one, we only have one pair of opposite sides that are parallel, just the red pair. Okay, this is going to be important. Let's take a look at this quadrilateral. We have two pairs of opposite sides that are parallel. We're going to figure out how many of them, we have two pairs of opposite sides. We're going to figure out how many of them are parallel. So if you take a look at these pink ones, these are going the exact same direction. They're both perfectly horizontal, so that is one. If we take a look at the green pair, they're going perfectly vertically, both of them the exact same direction, so that's two. So we have two pairs of opposite sides that are parallel for this one. Let's take a look at this one. We can have 0, 1, or 2 pairs of opposite sides that are parallel. Let's look at the blue ones first. These are both going perfectly horizontally, the same exact direction, so those are indeed parallel. And if you take a look at our pink opposite sides, they are both slanted the exact same direction. And so that is 2 pairs of opposite sides that are parallel for this quadrilateral. Let's take a look at this one. This one's a little bit different. We're going to look for, is it 2, 1, or 0 pairs of opposite sides that are parallel? If we take a look at these opposite sides, you can see they're both diagonal, but if you look carefully, they're both not going the exact same direction. If you kind of imagine that they're hills, one of the hills is steeper than the other one. So those are not going to be parallel. Let's take a look at this way. Nope, again, they both you got to look carefully, but they are not parallel at all. So this one actually has 0 pairs of opposite sides that are parallel. Take a look at this one here. Again, it's either going to be 0, 1, or 2. So let's take a look at our first pair of opposite sides. Yep, those are going the exact same direction, the same slant as one another. So that is 1. Let's take a look at our black opposite sides here. They are both going perfectly vertically, so those are also indeed parallel. So we had both pairs, so that's 2 pairs of opposite sides that are parallel. Now, hopefully this is making some sense, because it's going to be key in the next thing that we're learning. You're going to go ahead in a second and get a piece of paper and just kind of make a little space where you can give yourself a box that says A, B, C, or D. And what you're going to do is, once you have that done, you are going to pause the video on this screen here. And you are simply going to look at these questions, A, B, C, and D, and you're going to decide for yourself. The answer is either going to be 2 pairs of opposite sides that are parallel, 1 pair of opposite sides that's parallel, or no 0 pairs of opposite sides that are parallel for each one. So feel free to kind of draw a 2, 1, 0 in each box, and you can just circle the one that you think is the answer. Once you're done, the next video that you're going to watch will have the answers for you, so you can check to see if you're understanding or not. If you are not understanding, please rewatch the video that instructed you on this topic, or reach out to your math teacher and ask for some help, because this key concept is going to be important in what we're doing next.